I can't believe this, guys. Ubuntu is going to come up with a whole new X server standard for no reason, and it's going to segment the fucking ecosystem even more.
Neat.
Coming up on this LinuxGameCast Weekly, Steam gets gratuitous, Dynamite Jack gets humble, Kickstarter gets tormented, and cyborgs get dead. All this and more, plus your feedback on this week's LinuxGameCast Weekly. Let's go. Welcome back to another LinuxGameCast Weekly, the show that covers Linux gaming news, reviews, brings you all the neat bits, but more importantly, it's about whatever the hell else we come up with, and we're coming to you live. Yes, live. We do this every Saturday at linuxgamecast.com/live. You can catch us there around 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Coming up on this show, it's going to be kind of big. We got a couple things. We're going to be talking about the new Steam box, a new Unreal Engine game. Well, U3, they say. We're going to talk zombies, dead cyborgs, and more. But first, we need to introduce the two carbon-based entities that join me every week. And let's start off with one man who's on a mission single-handedly to prove that not all Canadians are polite. Mr. Svang. How's it going, man?
Oh, what? We're doing this now? Oh, yeah. I'm fine. Yes.
And also joining us, Intercontinental.
I was actually playing Beat Hazard. Hi.
Beat Hazard. You mean Beat Hazard? As you can tell, he is from Portugal just by looking
Not native
at him.
English speaker.
Not at all. But these are the guys who make up our Linux Gamecast. And before we get started, we always like to catch up about what has been going on. I think Pedro has something this week that's kind of big, right, man?
Well, it's about 21.5 inches big.
Do you like that?
I got it. Oh, yeah. Love it. I like them big. Well, my monitors anyway. But yeah, it's an Asus VS 228H. It's got full HD resolution, and save for a teeny tiny refresh issue, which causes it to sometimes show a line of blurred pixels. It's not all the time, so I'm okay with it. Oh, and I also got a new keyboard. It supposedly can change the backlighting between blue and red, but the button doesn't work in the little Linux, so blue it is.
Interesting. You were talking about the keyboard. Maybe it was the same one?
No, I actually asked him earlier. It's not, but I have a similar issue with my Logitech keyboard, where you can change the backlighting from blue to red to some sort of evil hybrid of the two. Yeah, under Windows it needs some weird driver thing. So I guess that doesn't exist under Linux, and no one's bored enough to actually get that working.
Yeah.
Right on. So, I guess we better get into a little
Our
bit
public
of chat
service
section.
or plugs, actually.
Yeah, because we do like to whore ourselves out just a little bit every week.
We whore ourselves out every week at linuxgamecast.com/live, where you can watch us live. Or if you want to watch us later, you can go to linuxgamecast.com/podcast, where we have some Wunder. We also got a YouTube page that Ben is apparently switching to, but
Yeah, I was just showing that off. I thought it's neat.
showing that off, youtube.com/linuxgamecast. Watch all our silly little videos. And going back to the podcast page, we got ways to give us money because we are poor and we beg. So we got an Amazon affiliate link for the US and the UK, where clicking on that will, every time you buy something on Amazon, little portion of the proceeds go to us, helps us out a little. All the money goes to the show. Or if you really, really want to throw wet stinky cash at us, we got donation buttons. You can give us a one-time donation, give us about $3.50 a month, or $10 a month. And we have a list of people who have actually donated, and we have prizes, sort of, kind of, not really. Then tell them about it.
Well, it's not really prizes. We name a few things on this show, like Arch is now the name of this cup, and Jordan is coming live from the Thomas Brown
T. Brown Memorial Mic.
Yeah, and this guy,
this one still needs a name.
No one sponsors him, and he's talking about himself. He thinks it's his headset, but it's genuinely just all Pedro.
Rename me.
So, yeah, basically, if you donate $10 a month, you get to stick whatever the hell you want on the side of Pedro's head. It's great.
I have so many ideas. I mean, if you guys got the $10, send me a note. We'll definitely come back up with some suggestions on that. But we also need to thank our favorite Linux gaming subreddit, man.
The _Linux_gaming. Pedro, tell them about it.
Well, it's our favorite subreddit. It's about Linux and about games, you know, kind of like LinuxGameCast. If you have anything you'd like us to scream about, drop a link there. We might pick it up.
This man speaks the truth. And you can find some of our links over there and a lot of cool general Linux gaming news, Steam updates, and just neat sauce in general.
All sorts of crazy crap.
Yeah. So, you want to do that PSA right now? Should we go ahead?
Yeah, I guess we should. Friends don't let friends come up with competing X server standards, or compositor standards, rather.
Or as I like to call it, what is it? Canonical?
Canonical.
Canonical. Well, has lost the damn mind. Do you think that's an accurate thing to say?
Yeah, I think Shuttleworth is a bit spacey there.
Pedro.
He should be sent back into space and left there.
Thank you for stealing my line, jerk.
What? Oh, I'm sorry. I
Squirm.
didn't see it.
All right.
Squirm.
No, man. Yeah, Shuttleworth was like, oh, yeah, it's going to be fantastic. It'll even work with KDE's K-Win. And, yeah.
KDE, I like KDE's response. Nope. Nope.
Yeah, man. And he says, well, this is what you don't even know how to write K-Win. Currently, the number of commits to K-Win by canonical employees is 0.
Big goose egg.
Yeah. No contacts, whatever. And, you know, Shuttleworth is really going out of his way to saying this is the next big thing. You might be wondering, what does it have to do with gaming? Hopefully nothing. Because this is just stupid. On a scale that is only surpassed by... They would have to come out with, like, their own mobile operating system to outpace this one.
It's not even a mobile operating system. It's just an ARM port of their existing OS. Everything Ubuntu does in the ARM space has been done by all the other distros as well. They're just louder.
Oh. Any thoughts on this, Pedro?
Well, I'm kind of glad KDE isn't bending over to Canonical. Thank you. Because I'm actually planning on using KDE at some point, given a few weeks back those charts we ran about OpenGL performance on the different DEs.
Yeah, non-compositing on KDE performs the best, or something like that.
Yeah, it was the second best, just below E17.
Which is not so much a desktop environment, but just like a window manager.
Yep.
That's a bit unfair to lump it into the same category.
I mean, I suppose you could use it as a full-blown DE, but it is just a window manager.
Yeah, and I mean, Canonical wants to compete with Wayland. Actually, they're on our Linux, another Linux-related subreddit. There was I was reading this on the way home from work one day. It was the IRC logs from the Wayland devs channel, and they're just tearing into the one Mir developer. They're like, "You knew about this? What?"
Just a heads up, Master Svang. I mean, when you scream into that mic, it blows our sync out completely.
I'm sorry. My bad.
I understand the rage is necessary, and, well, you know, I'm kind of with Falcon on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not cool. So our
Not cool.
horse that we beat every week is kind of, chilled out, hasn't it?
Yeah, more or less. Now that it's sort of becoming mainstream, we can no longer claim our indie hipster cred for it.
Oh,
But
man.
it's, of course, our Steam Linux update of
The Wii! See, we got somebody in there.
Eek.
One more. Nope, this comes from bbc.co.uk. Valve is on about this, man. Prototype Steambox video game console to arrive in the next few months, man. Look at
mind you, this is Valve time, so
yeah. And you know,
I mean, there is a bit of a race because the other consoles are starting to be announced and whatnot. I mean, PS4 just got announced. Valve probably wants to jump on this early so they can get the earlier sales.
And I the only thing, you know, I like the little prototypes coming out in the next couple of months, but, you know, undeclared price. But, you know, in all fairness, Sony didn't say anything. And
so Sony's console is probably going to be hella expensive too. Or if they haven't learned their lesson from the PS3, you never know.
I don't think you can afford to be hella expensive anymore, Pedro.
Hopefully the Steam box won't be as expensive as the PS3 was, because no one's shelling out $600 for a console at this point.
It's just not happening, man. But it'll be interesting to see that come out. I mean, I'm all for it when it eventually arrives. You know, I have no illusion against that. You know, 50 million registered accounts with software, all that fun stuff. They keep on bringing up Portal 2 like it's going to be the thing, but maybe that's what we're going to do.
Big old
yeah, we
press.
actually discussed the specs a few weeks back, and if the point is using subpar hardware to play games, my laptop's way ahead of him. In all seriousness,
I mean, like, as much as we say yay to the Steam box, I mean, none of us are gonna get it. We all have computers. I mean,
yeah,
That's
it's
the
sort
trick,
of a
man.
big whoop-de-doo.
That's the trick, because they're going to have to convince your console gaming bros to pick up the Steam box, man. I mean, it's going to have to come with, like, pop collars and free shades.
And Jaeger bombs.
Yeah.
and something to frost your hair with.
This is also an important component in the bro box.
The Broco system.
But check this out, man. Steam installer for Wheezy, and if you don't know what Wheezy is, get off my lawn. I didn't know it was still such a pain in the arse to get this running under Debian.
But apparently it is, and I guess Ghost Squad 57 rewrote the installer.
Yeah, and all these links are going to be in our show notes. It's a rewrite of Valve's Deb installer for Steam. The version of the Deb is meant to be installed and ran on Debian Wheezy. So, I mean, it's been keeping up to date 5 days ago in the update, so that's neat, right?
Yep.
How difficult is it to install into Fedora?
Not very.
Yeah. Fun to?
Yum install Steam. There.
Pretty much here, apt-get, you know. So, I'm glad that's existing, but that's going to help out. But you got to think, though, the type of person who's running Debian doesn't really need that, do they?
Unless...
Not really. I guess if you get there's occasionally these folks in the Ubuntu community who get a bit more adventurous and venture onto other distros. So maybe this is a nice little stepping stone for them. But
right on. So do we got one last little bit here?
Yes, Gratuitous Space Battles, which is probably one of my more favorite game titles. And basically exactly what the name describes. You literally have no control over it. It's you set up your pieces and then watch them blow each other to hell, and it's fun to watch. And it's on Steam. Although I'm getting a 0 byte download, but apparently I just gotta restart Steam for that to get fixed.
Yeah, I made the mistake of reinstalling that for the first time in over a year, day before yesterday, and that sucked up about 3 hours of my life for no good reason. Pedro?
It's really
like
pretty.
It's kind of like
game.
the first time it actually came out on Humble Bundle. I think it was the 4th Humble Bundle, and the first time I played it, it was like 3-4 hours just gone.
But
yep.
that is now available on Steam. What can you pick it up for? Ooh, ouch, ouch, ouch.
Mind you, if you've been keeping up with the Humble Bundles, you already have the game, so...
Yep.
Yeah, it just kind of popped up in there. Some of these pricing options with some of the games on Steam, not that I'm cheap at all, but we're getting a lot of 4- and 5-year-old games. This one happens to be 2 years old without an update. It's kind of pushing the price limit of what I'd pay for it.
At the same time, though, I mean, how much of Steam sales are driven by their bi-yearly sales extravaganza things, where you can pick up these games for like $2-3.
Yep.
Fair point.
Every year.
I literally buy
sales,
games on
spring
Steam
sales,
maybe
everything.
twice a year.
What was that, guys? You were talking over each other.
Oh, I just said I'd normally just buy Steam games maybe twice a year, once in the summer, once in the winter.
Yeah.
So,
You know, I would like that option. That's one of the things I do as part of my morning routine is visit the Steam Linux store and see if there's anything there, and it's usually for naught.
but hopefully
It's
that will
gotten
get
kinda
better.
dull.
I mean, there was a story posted earlier this week. I don't think we included it, but it was something like, yes, actually I think we covered it last week, where Steam or Linux users on Steam and Mac users on Steam are almost at parity. So I mean, it's getting better.
Yeah, it seems like we're about to overtake the Mac users.
Yeah. And that's good, because that means we're going to start seeing more AAA titles getting ported. I mean, Mac has Assassin's Creed, and no one's playing that on there. So,
You know, I'd just
We
be happy
need
with
those
some
through
Left
the
4 Dead
legs.
and some Portal. That would keep me content for the next 2 months.
yeah, give us some LGC players material.
Indeed it would. So
I think that about wraps up this week's beating of the dead horse.
that dead horse
Yeah.
is quite dead, so let's cut to the news, and we only get to say this a few times every year. And that is, let's get ready to humble. Humble Bundle 5 with Android, yay. But what do we get? We get
Yeah.
Dungeon Defender, Super Hexagon, Beat Hazard Ultra, Dynamite Jack, Solar 2, Night Sky HD. And you have the option to donate to the EFF and Child's Play charity.
Both very good causes.
What did you guys think of this bundle, man? Was it a good one, bad one, sideways one?
Pass.
Really?
I already own these games, so I don't care.
I bought it for Beat Hazard Ultra. That was the only one somehow I didn't own.
Well,
Pedro?
I think in my case, I was actually missing a few more games than you guys. Namely, Dynamite Jack and Solar 2. I had all the others.
Let's see how the stats are ranking up. Yeah, see, we're doing a better job this year of just crushing the Mac guys.
Crush those apples,
Crush.
man. Crush.
Crash.
Applesauce.
Look at these. 948 versus 745 for your Mac and 611 for the Windows, man. Not bad at all, right?
Not bad at all. It doesn't look like the Humble Brony bundles in the top donations this go around.
No, we don't see the bronies. We also don't see Notch in here this go around.
He hasn't donated
Yeah.
for the last few ones. Or if he has, he hasn't been on the top.
And Paul Guy's been there with the 666s for the past few days. So that's cool.
Yeah.
Check that out. How long?
Heavy metal.
Nah, 9 days, 15 hours, and 8, 7, 6. This is going to be a long show. No, just kidding. What do we got up next, guys?
Well,
it's
next
faster.
we have something I've actually been looking forward to.
Really?
And it's finally okay. Granted, it's old, but I love the Painkiller games. I do.
Pedro, I'm
And-
actually a bit upset that you didn't make a Judas Priest reference right here.
I'm sorry, I'm not that much of a Judas Priest fan.
Judas Priest. God.
But no, Unreal Engine 3 is getting ported to Linux, and you can thank Painkiller for that, because we're going to get Painkiller Hell and Damnation at around April. And not just that, but the mod kit, which they call Daniel Garner, is actually getting ported to Linux too. So you want to make your own game? I think you've got a pretty good start right there.
Yeah, Painkiller's a pretty good game too. So I mean,
It is.
I'm glad to see that there are some quality titles that are a bit older being ported.
Well, and also in correction, this is the second game using the Half-Life 3
Yes,
engine,
because it
not
was
the first.
Dungeon Defenders, I believe.
Correctamundo. So that's awesome that that's coming in April, May. That's not too far away, is it? What, on the months in March? Yeah.
Yeah,
about 2
it's
months.
not too far off.
3 months, give or take.
And this comes from the critters over at Ubuntu Vibes. They also have a direct link to the official press release. So that was kind of neat to find out about that. But this is something Master Sveng seems to be excited about.
Oh, I was stupid fucking excited about this. This is Torment, Tides of Numenera, which is if you guys are familiar with Planescape Torment, they've decided to turn the Torment series into an anthology. And this is the latest one in there by a bunch of the creative team that worked on the original Planescape Torment, and it's built on Unity, so it supports Linux right out the box. And I just about crapped my pants when I heard that. Yeah, it's a sequel to the great one of arguably the greatest computer role playing game of all time. It was fully funded in about 6 hours too. I mean, they were asking for like $1 million, and now they're at like almost at $2.5 million. It's looking pretty good.
26 days to go, and they've already passed the 2 million mark.
Yeah, people really want to play this game. I really want to play this game. I'm
Me
too.
excited for it.
Have you already backed it?
Not yet. I was going to on the first day, but then by the time I got home, the $20 backer thing got bought out already. So
So
I'm waiting for the next paycheck to come in. And
$25,
then,
right? Skull. Digital.
I think I'm actually gonna go for one of the higher pledges just because I want some of the stuff from that.
Let's see. How much do we have to pay to be able to sleep with our sisters?
I think
it was something. I think it was something like 10
$20
grand.
thing while they were still in stock.
One Life Matters exclusive launch party and more. All your rewards. I don't see. Don't see a thing in here about sisters.
Oh, yeah.
Hmm.
I don't think Monty Cook has a sister. Though I don't know much about Monty Cook, so other than I really like the games he designs. But yeah, and we got another Kickstarter coming up next, don't we?
Yeah, this seems like it's Kickstarter full, man. Flippy.
Yeah. So we mentioned this a couple weeks ago, or a couple months ago, actually.
Well, it's like 2 or 3 weeks ago. We've mentioned this several times, to be honest with you. And this is called Race the Sun, as we've famously or infamously said, there is no way this is getting funded.
And apparently we got to eat our words.
And yes, F us, and him, and him. Here it is, it's funded, man. 21,579 quid out of 20 grand goal. It made it. It
made it.
Okay, granted.
Well,
it's
you
a
know
Linux
what? Good for
game.
them.
It's a Linux game. If a Linux game doesn't get, if it gets on Kickstarter and it doesn't get funded, I die a little bit inside. And even though it's a shit game, it actually had a working Linux demo, so kudos on them.
Well, to be
Yeah.
honest with you, we don't know it's a shit game. I mean, I've played the demo, and I kind of met out of the demo after about a minute. So.
Yeah.
I haven't really touched it. It didn't really interest me at all.
But good on you guys. I'm glad you got your money. You'll be able to focus on that, and hopefully you'll get the game out. And that's over. One more Kickstarter. Come on.
One more
One
Kickstarter.
And since we were discussing, classic RPGs, now we have Lord British or General British or whatever the hell Richard Garriott's calling himself these days.
General British gave himself a promotion.
Yeah. But we have Shroud of the Avatar, Forsaken Virtues, which is basically the Ultima game that Richard Garriott wanted to do. And I hope they'll improve on the graphics, because judging from the video, it looks like one of those cheapo Android RPGs. And I don't want that. Linux could use a really decent RPG at this point, like Skyrim, or maybe I'm putting the bar a little too high, but yeah.
What? Torment's not good enough for you?
No, Torment, that one, and with the Unity engine, it's going to be awesome.
It's going to be amazing.
We need more.
I just can't stop talking about it.
Yeah, but we really need more RPGs. I think it's the one genre Linux is actually missing. And hopefully, this will get funded and we'll have one more.
Oh, this will get funded.
Yeah.
This is not one of those.
Yeah. They're looking for $1 million, and they've already got 565,000.
They're halfway.
So,
And of course,
Plus
now that
areas.
we've put a seal of approval on it, it will not get funded, as is tradition.
Yes, as is tradition. So say we all.
Okay, man, that is almost going to wrap it up. We have one last little bit.
I just want to add something about I really like what Kickstarter is doing for the gaming industry. It really has democratized the output, and you're seeing all these fiascos with AAA titles like SimCity, and then you have these games on Kickstarter which have these fairly large budgets that look awesome and are getting funded. And the nice thing is the developers are accountable directly to the people playing it.
Well, I think another thing of point, you've seen some reactionary stuff, multiple types of Kickstarters, and also we have Steam Greenlight now, which I think was a reaction to Kickstarter.
Yeah, I'm really glad that gaming has now becoming more and more democratized as a medium. Look at Torment, look at Shroud of the Avatar, even look at Race the Sun. They're people are interested in stuff, and they will fork out money ahead of time to see it.
That's right, but that's one thing you always got to remember when you're buying Kickstarter projects, man. You're not buying a game; you're buying into a promise that there's no guarantee. So always keep that in mind when you're doing that.
But what Ven was saying before, this is an interesting little thing off Linux_gaming that someone whipped up. Basically what it does is it'll run your game in a separate X server, supposedly to improve performance. It just runs an X server on a separate display. You hit Control Alt whatever to F whatever to switch back and forth. I'm not exactly sure if there's going to be actual concrete performance games. I can understand why there would be, but it's an interesting little project. I'll give it that.
Yeah, I think I agree with you 104% on that. But I don't think me and you, or a lot of people, I think we're slowly eking our way out of people no longer using their Linux boxes, not their third generation hand-me-down Tinker Toy. It's their main box with bitching, video cards in it, 1,000-watt power supply, and, e-penis extenders just hanging all off of it. So,
you can buy them for PC. You can buy them in PCI Express models now.
Indeed, you can. But that's a neat performance thing. But when was the last time you really worried about performance or had to?
What was the game?
Guilty.
It was a game we covered. This guy. Yeah, this guy on his crap top with his full grips.
Well. It's a 3-year-old
18.
laptop. For its age, it can hold its own pretty well, but it's stuck with an ADI graphics board, AMD if you want to. And it sucks on Linux, so hopefully this will allow me to work around some of the issues, hopefully. But it's got one problem. If you're running OpenBox, it won't start. And since Metacity 232 doesn't like dual monitor setups with Zinorama, I'm using OpenBox, so this won't work.
Boo.
But check that out. It'll be in the show notes. It's also on the Linux_Gaming subreddit. Give it a try. It looks straightforward. There's a lot of comments in here with troubleshooting and bugs and all that in their notes. Definitely worth checking that out. So, being LinuxGameCast, maybe we should do a game? Or games? Maybe 2. How about 4?
I think you're smoking crack then.
I always
That's insane. We shouldn't do that at all.
Well,
I say we do 6 of them.
Deal with it. And actually, Pedro, this one's yours.
Yeah, this one's all mine. Luminesca. You can find it at luminesca.com. It's the actual release isn't out yet, but you can pre-order it either straight from their website or on the Sura or in Divania. I couldn't get it to work. It crashes on Faduntu with the single aborted. Nothing else. It's all it says in the terminal. It's aborted. But I did get it for 99 cents US with the keyword Kraken. Remember, unleash the Kraken.
Unleash the Kraken!
Speaking of abortions, Jordan, did you get a chance to play it?
No, because their online store would not accept my credit card for whatever reason.
The only reason I didn't, I was going to pick it up at that sale price because it was something I was going to play for 2 seconds. I mean, no offense, but I was. And it didn't accept PayPal. Now, I could use one of my credit cards, but I was like, what is this system? I've not seen this system. This is not anything I've ever used before. So that's usually when I was like, I'll trust it with my PayPal account, but I'm not giving you credit card numbers credit. But it looks like a fun game. You can pick it up. Regular price on Desura is
it has a
$4.99.
Sorry, it has $4.99. It has a really night skyish vibe to it. I think.
Yep.
Definitely felt that. It's like night sky while drowning.
Yeah, this is a trend I've seen. We've seen actually. There have been a couple of games that have this sort of night sky type feel to it. It looks cool. I'll give it that, but
maybe like Aquaria on a budget.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
It's Aquaria and Grimind, that game we talked about a few weeks back.
Grimmin.
Oh, yeah.
It's
Yes.
Grimind, yeah.
So check that out, man. That's at what is it? Luminesca.
Luminesca.com.
Luminesca.com. That will be
It's
in
like
our
Fresca, but with
notes.
Lumen.
Now, this is something that just popped into play and caught me. It's like, oh, that's neat. And Jordan went, oh my God, got his pom-poms out and told me his life story.
Well, okay, I have a bit of history with Free Orion. I like Master of Orion, the series, and Free Orion was actually the first game I ever played on Linux. So this was kind of nifty. It has, they hit 0.42 now. It has some additions. It's non-cheating. they say non-cheating AI. Sometimes experienced players lose. They have some GUI enhancements. They got some expanded Galactopedia, which is kind of their equivalent to Wikipedia, I guess.
Just looking at this, what do you do? Just click on planets?
Have you never played Master of Orion? It's basically a turn-based strategy game where you take over a galaxy
by clicking on planets.
Yeah, by clicking on planets, colonizing them, developing technology. Yeah, it's a turn-based strategy game. It focuses more on the long game. It's not for you StarCrafty types. I like it. But yeah, it hit 0.42. It runs great. Pedro had some problems.
Yeah, the text on the menus shows up all garbled up. It spits out a couple of libgl errors, like screen 0 not being DRI2 capable, and not finding the modules swrest_dry.so, even though they're there, but it doesn't find them for some reason. And that's probably what's causing up the text to show up all garbled up.
One issue I do have with Free Orion, though, is that you have to make that stupid home Orion directory and make a symlink. I find that incredibly stupid, and I don't know why we have to do that.
That's not taken care of with the install, though.
Nope.
I don't know.
Hmm.
No, it's like there's a folder you extract, and then you have to create a symlink to another folder that you create for like save files and crap like that. I don't know.
Ah.
Yeah.
Anyways, so Ven, how quickly can you go through the next one?
You know, I really wanted a nope out of this game. It's called Swift Stitch, but as was everything except for Jordan, because he was sexually molested by multimedia online role-playing games in his youth. He doesn't play those, but we do play every game on LinuxGameCast before we talk about them. And this one is Swift Stitch from Sophie Holden, and she's been turning out. That girl likes her puzzle games, don't they?
Yeah, this is the second game of hers we've had on the show. The first one being Rosen Time, which I really liked.
And this used to be £7. Now it's free. We'll take a look at it here. You play it with one button. Is that fair to say?
Pretty much. Yeah. All you have to do is click or not click. That's it.
And I can see where it could get challenging. The only issue I had with it is it didn't get challenging quick enough for me. I'm going to have to...
Yeah, it does take a few levels to actually ramp up the difficulty and become frustratingly hard. But the first few levels, yeah.
That's all right. I
agree.
It's free. It kind of reminds you of some classic Tron if you're old as dirt. So.
I fight for the users.
Check that out at sophieholden.com. You'll find a link to all of her games on there. Fun game, just not my dice. It didn't hold my attention that long, but hey, free. What do you got to lose, right?
What?
Yep.
So, this thing.
Yeah, this guy. Dead Cyborg, a sci-fi adventure. Episode number 2 is available. And it's a Blender game. So this is from gamingonlinux.com.
I hate to interrupt here. We just got to check out Svolkin. Yes, that reminds me of Logo from the Apple II as well. Sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Yeah, this is an adventure game, a point-and-click first-person adventure game where you run around and do stuff. And I don't know.
You were a bit unclear.
The environment
on what
looks cool. The control scheme is pretty whack.
Oh, you think that control? Dude, check this out.
Yeah, I saw that in your notes. You mentioned that the original version didn't have mouse support.
Everyone went, hey, it was like, okay, it's pretty. I'll give it that. It passes the pretty sniff test. But everyone, the first release, I mean, it was like dozens of comments. It was like, we can't get mouse support work. And the author comes and says, I do not believe this type of game should be played with a mouse. You should only use the keyboard. And he stuck to those guns until he realized nobody fucking played his game. So this type of game, you need mouse look. This is not 1986. So
it isn't?
Shh, be quiet.
Crap, my time machine didn't work.
Ah, damn it. Yeah, I'm kind of like with you. I played it for a good 15 minutes and still didn't have fuck all idea what we were supposed to be doing.
Yeah, it's like, well, the first guy's like, fix the cameras, all right? Where do I go to fix the cameras? You find this purple Lego brick thing and you break through a force field and you eat contaminated food and you find radiation pills and you just click on everything and the most annoying sound is that can't do this. I'm just like a little direction would be nice.
Go ahead, Pedro.
No, I actually made it to the second level. It's not very intuitive, but I used to be all into adventure games back in the day. But yeah, I like the graphics. They look a lot like a slightly more cartoonish Fallout 3. It's just not as open. It's it's just a puzzle game. You run around clicking on things, and that's pretty much all you do. You click on things, hopefully it'll
Click
do
all
something.
the things.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what I resorted to doing, was like click, 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 come on.
Yeah. And, well, I got bored. Because at the second level, you're told to find 5 red buttons. Well, you're not told. You have to guess. Because, like I said, not very intuitive. But, yeah, find the 5 red buttons and progress. I got bored, and I noped out of it.
Yeah.
Well, it comes at the price of not, so
Yeah.
definitely worth the try.
If it's your kind of thing, give it a shot.
And it's a Blender game, so it's going to run on all platforms. The controls were Blender-ishy, not the worst Blender mechanics I've seen. Performance was fine on this end, your end.
Yeah, it ran fine.
Pedro?
It was great.
Yeah, didn't have any issues with that. And this comes from Gaming on Linux, one of our friends in the Linux gaming verse. But we'll have a link to this post in the show notes. But, muerte, that means tacos, right?
It means death.
tacos.
Tell us.
But yeah, this one's all mine. Remember the last show when I said I didn't speak Spanish? Well, I lied. Región Muerta. It's an abandoned zombie survival project. And it's actually on LGC. You can see the video Ven's playing right now. And if you read below it, Ven gives you a pretty good description of it. It's kind of like Killing Floor, only in a isometric third-person perspective. And it gets kind of boring.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot to it. I mean, I just wanted to mention it because I ran across it. And, hey, zombies, right?
Yeah.
And it's just kind of sad to me that I hate seeing these projects that, the developers get burnt out on after a few months. And not saying that game was anything more than a concept, but I got to see some potential for that. Did you get a chance to play it, J-Man?
Oh, yeah, I did. I didn't have anything in the notes because I didn't really have anything else to say about it. It's basically third person isometric killing floor, or rather top down killing floor. Yeah, it's basically, I gave it about 15 minutes. I'm like, all right, yeah, whatever. It's not finished, so not really any point in me going forward.
I would just like to see, in the future, I mean, especially if you have a project and say that you've abandoned,
open source the code.
Open it up, man.
Yeah.
I know you think you've did something hyper creative with some little snippet of the code in that. You did, and it's been done before. The world is not going to steal your secrets on that. Just, throw it on SourceForge, man. It's not going to cost you anything.
Or GitHub.
Better yet. But no, you can check out more information about that, as Pedro said, at LinuxGameCast.com. It's right there, but it'll also be in the show notes, cleverly located at LinuxGameCast.com. So, from zombies to zombies in space. Kind of, maybe? I don't know. That's a pretty shit.
Oh, this game.
Look at the faces, though. It's so realistic. They
look at those faces. Jesus. Murphy.
Scary.
They're frozen. That's nightmare fuel right there. Every single time.
It is. Like, I really want to see some of the more damaging glitches to the game and show them to some children and then watch them get scarred for life. I don't even know what this is. I wasn't even able to get through this that much to get a real idea of what this was. Because the demo is just awful. Oh. Yep. Like, Ben didn't experience, but me and Pedro did. The mouse is like stupid buggy. The tutorial is so full of dialogue, and it with these creepy ass faces. I don't give a crap about them because it's not the story is not compelling at all. And throughout the tutorial, things that you could be able to figure out just by like moving your mouse around and clicking and pressing a few buttons. No, they stop you at like every single thing. Oh yeah, you want to move up? Okay, new thing that stops you. You have to press enter to continue. It's freaking annoying. After about 5 minutes of this, I'm just like, no, I'm done. And I mean, like, what is it? You're playing like you're playing like a turret, and you shoot at ships.
But to complement your point on the plot, if you guys in the chat and everyone else watching the show, if you decide to try this game, think about the U.S.-Iraq situation while you're reading the text. Indulge.
I think you may be reading a bit too much into this.
No, I'm serious. Do it.
But
No,
I mean, let me just say a little bit about
into it. You actually read it,
right?
Yes.
But anyway, Star Villains and Space Heroes, the demo is out. It's a third-person space combat game, conflict, blah, blah, blah. No atmospheric drag, that's neat. Allows for complex maneuvers, but, you know, the controls are a bit buttery, but you can check out all the information at LinuxGameCast.com, or you can visit the main site at svsh.revora.net. It's pretty, but it's also, from you guys, which I value your opinions, pretty damn buggy and meh, right?
Yep.
So, that's pretty much it for the games, but, you know, you guys like to scream in our direction, so we feel it necessary to scream back in yours. This one comes from a longtime fan of the show, Mr. Thomas, Dickie T. He writes, yeah, LGC Chrome Voodoo. He said, I forked project on GitHub to make your shekels easier to gain. Just needs building, then submitting to the Chrome store, or it can be added manually if it works, as far as I know. For Amazon and co.uk, yes, I'm the person who kept asking for the UK link. Hope this is some use, and maybe he can hammer out a Firefox plugin as well. Neat? Yeah.
Yes, and basically all this does is it makes our affiliate link always on, so you can just give us money and money and money and money and money.
Which is awesome. We love your money. We do.
We just pleasure ourselves nightly to the thoughts of your money.
Indeed,
Yes.
we do. So what do we got up next? Oh, by the way, thanks, Dick. We haven't had a chance to look at that yet. I will be doing that this weekend after we get this show out. And hopefully we'll get that sorted and get it on the podcast page, man. And if everything works out, yeah, we're definitely interested in some Foxfire plugins.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Up
Richie
next,
Q, man.
Richie Q, and I get to pull this one out of my bag. Father, the sleeper has awakened!
Faja?
Because I love me some David Lynch's Dune. This is so they cloned Dune 2, which is a pretty good RTS for DOS, and it's called Dune Legacy, and it got released, and it's available on Linux, I guess.
It is. And you need the original files to get it to work, which was interesting because I actually had to dig up my old floppy disks, put it into one of the desktop PCs at the library, pass them all to my USB key, this thing right here, and then bring it home to my PC because I couldn't find anywhere to download it.
I keep saying this. Invest $10 in a USB floppy drive. It is one of the more useful things you can spend $10 on.
Man, I have forsaken the floppies. I've also forsaken the CDs in favor of thumb drives, man.
Yeah, I just honestly, I have a server running an rsync daemon. I just use that for everything.
But on this continuation with this, you can pick this up at sourceforge.net. We'll have a link in the notes. Pretty neat stuff, man. And, you know,
there's also playdune.com if you want to get your ears blown out by the awesome
we're getting to
music.
that. I just want to thank Richie Q. You know, he is the developer behind the Dune 2 clone, Dune Legacy, who wrote us about this. So, and it's kind of frightening that this game came out 20-something years ago, man.
21.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's still a pretty good game, though, all things considered.
But you can still play it in your browser. Yes, the mighty browser. Behold. Play-Dune.com. This is something I came across because I was like, art assets. I don't have art assets, but I want to play Dune 2. And I just typed this in, Dune 2. And it was like, bam, here it is. And you can go through the entire game directly in your browser. And as the Master Fang said, it's a bit on the loud side.
Yeah,
Just
what is
bit.
this? 1998, playing tons. I don't see any marquee tags or under construction banners.
Yeah, but it's completely free, and there it is.
Yeah, But sorry, another PSA: websites, if you want to play music, have a clearly labeled mute switch.
Because some people might be at work and are supposed to be working.
Or some people just don't want to listen to the music.
Ah, another fair point. So, that's going to wrap it up for our show. You can always find us at LinuxGameCast.
Oh, Ben, you forgot about our submit link.
Well, I'm getting to it.
Ah. Well, shut up then.
Thank you. You can find us at LinuxGameCast.com, where we have the podcast. Check this out. You click this link, you get all the information, you get all the feeds, you get all the ways to kick us a few bones, help us out, make this better, and trust me, we have a long way to go. But if you want to scream back in our direction, we have the submit link. We like hearing from you. If you know about a game, a project, or something like that, or if you just don't like the way this guy looks down sometimes. This guy, he looks up. It's weird sauce. You can do that. Just give us your name, your email. We probably won't sell that. No promises. I'm kidding, mostly. Subject, your message, a little, capture there.
Capture.
Bam, Bob's your uncle. We'll get that. We always write back. You send that, it goes to all three of us, and somebody will eventually, hopefully, if you're lucky, get back to, we really do make it a point to
or
get
you
back
can
to everyone.
check out our forums as well.
Yeah, we do have the forums. You can jump right in there. We still have some information from Glog78 from last week. He posted in there about places to search for runnable Linux games. I think he also posted something about performance tweaks on Linux.
Yep, we covered that last
Yeah.
week. He
We're-
dropped a couple of performance enhancements. Let's call them that.
It's
So-
like HGH for your Linux box. But we love hearing from you, and we love your Linux gaming tips and news and rumors and crap.
Indeed,
So,
we do.
We're all about the proliferation of knowledge.
Oh, yeah.
So that's going to round us out. So let's cue the music. And I'm Vinstone, cleverly hidden at Vinstone on the Twitter nets, and plus Vinstone on the G+. That is definitely where I'm most active. And this fool.
Yes, this burning fool is. I'm Jordan Svung, and I'm at the burning fool or Google Plus or on Google Plus at plus Jordan Svung, and I too am probably more active on that than I am on Twitter. So,
And this Twitter whore here.
No, I'm not. I think
The-
to follow,
this twit whore,
to
as
follow
it
in
were.
sync, just like Jordan and Ven, I'm probably more active on Google+. But yeah, I'm Peter Mateusz. You can find me at unaccounted for on Twitter or plus Peter Mateusz in Google+.
Well, that's been it for this week's Linux Gamecast. Like I said at the beginning, you can always find us live every Saturday at linuxgamecast.com around 9 p.m. EST. That is 2100-ish, something like that.
2100.
GMT, so
No.
600? I don't know. Brain's not working. What is it? It says it right
No,
here.
0200. 0200.
Right here, 0200 GMT 2100. So, we're good with that. Wave to the lovely people. I said wave. Wave.
Wait,
Wave, damn you. There we go.
no, I thought you said do the wave.
You just go to hell.